Live from New York City, corner of Park Ave and 42nd Street, Grand Central Terminal, Midtown Manhattan. Grand Central celebrates its centennial next year in 2013, the largest train station in the world. Over 21 million visitors annually. And we move next door to Vanderbilt Hall, named for the Vanderbilt family who built Grand Central Terminal, a former main waiting room. Today it's been transformed into a state-of-the-art bowling arena. Welcome inside Vanderbilt Hall for the 2012 Teen Masters Grand Championships. Hello again, everybody. Mike J. Laneside. And we are ready for our second girls matchup of the day. And with our competitors is our sideline reporter, third person in the booth today, three-time member of Team USA, Elise Bolton. Go, Elise.
All right, so you girls have had 3 matches to watch how the lanes have been breaking down and see what the other people have done. What have you guys seen, and what information are you taking into this game?
Well, I know I'm just going to play my game. You know, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what the lanes are going to do. It's going to be 2 completely new people out there, so hopefully I can just stay confident and try and stay ahead of the breakdown.
Yeah, same like she said, you know, I'm going to play my game because the boys, you know, they play differently. So I'm just going to try to keep calm and, you know, take one step at a time. So, yeah.
All right, now having only 2 balls, what ball selection have you guys made for this lane pattern?
I'll be using my Cyclone probably, but that can change.
All right, and what have you done to the ball to make it for this pattern?
I actually, the new balls we got drilled, I actually just left the factory finish on it. I really liked that. So try not to mess with it too much, and then we'll see what happens.
I'll be using my Pursuit S, and I put 3,000 on it because like helps it come back a little bit more. So.
All right, well, good luck to both of you. Back to Mike.
Hey, Elise Bolton, thank you for insight alongside the lanes today. And that is Haley Rubin, followed by Jessica Davies. And if you've just joined us, we've had 3 matches, and we've had 3 roll-offs to determine points. And thus far, Aaron Uradovich, Ashley Dunn, and Jacob Ettinger are all 1-0. Cameron Doyle, Melanie Hannon, and Greg Young are all 0-1. Who will join them as 1-0 and 0-1? We'll find out next, live on Extra Frame. This is best of 2. Best of 2, how do you do that? Well, if you win 2 games, the match is yours and 1 point. If the players split, there will be a sudden death roll-off to determine the winner. And we have had 3 sudden death roll-offs. Mike J. Laneside joined now by the bowling guy, Jason Thomas, as we have an opportunity first to meet Haley Rubin.
My name is Haley Rubin, and I'm from Brandon, South Dakota. I'm 18 years old, and I've been bowling since middle school. I am so excited to be going to New York. I think it's going to be a really good experience, and I'm just really excited just to be a part of it. I'm going to Waldorf College in the fall. It's in Forest City, Iowa. I'm majoring in music education because music is another one of my passions. I love bowling. It's so different than every other sport. It's kind of a physical game, but it's really a mental game. You have to think about it more than doing it. I really want to thank my family. I couldn't have done it without them.
Bright young lady with a bright smile is Haley Rubin, and bowling against her in this match as well, Jason Thomas. Seems like we have a bit of a delay. Do we have the opportunity to meet Jessica Davies as well?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our second girls match.
Well, now our tournament director is getting things rolling, and that's the flexibility of Extra Frame.
We have Haley Rubin and Jessica Davies. Let's give them a round of applause. The match is best of 2. If one of the bowlers wins the first 2 games, the match is over. If they tie 1-1, they will go to sudden death roll-off to determine the match winner. As the higher seed, Haley is elected to go first, and it's your turn to start.
Here we go. Haley will open up. Mike J. Laneside back with the bowling guy, and Elise Bolton now joins us in the booth. Interesting comments from both of our competitors in their first crack at the lanes here this afternoon.
Yeah, I was surprised to hear that she was trying to keep her ball factory finish, because normally, you know, they say not to do that just because you don't, I don't know, you don't see good ball reaction, I guess. But I guess that's what she likes, and she said she's sticking to it.
Sticking to it. So here we go. Rubin versus Davies. Haley will start. Is the best of 2 opening game here, live at Grand Central, Midtown Manhattan. We're glad you're with us on the online bowling channel. Little sticky off the paw, crossover 5. The 4th of our matches, as we mentioned, Aaron Uratovich and Jacob Ettinger on the boys' side open 1-0. Ashley Dunn on the girls' side opens 1-0, and they all survived the roll-off process. Tomorrow's championship, boys and girls, and the overall grand championships will be best of 3 games. There'll be a full game in the event of a tie, but for the preliminary rounds, it's all best of 2s with the potential for sudden death.
What's crazy is as after today, Greg or Cameron, one of them will be gone, and I feel like they were probably one of them was expected, or both, to be in the finals. So
exactly.
So it's just crazy.
And it was interesting because Cameron was in the booth. He knows what a big match that is. He knows his opponent will be just as hungry for that win. So that's the first match coming up out of our break.
I know Cameron was. He did say he didn't want to have to face him in the final match though, because he's a good competitor, and they're both 2 of the top young bowlers in the country. So one of them will make it, and the other one won't.
Well, here comes Jessica Davies. Look at that setup. A little old school. Coming at you live here on the online bowling channel. And I believe that they forgot to reset the deck.
Wow, that's something you don't see every day.
I was like, did that just happen?
I'm guessing she's going to get that shot over.
That's going to be a dead ball.
She hit the pocket, Mike J. She took out the 1-3.
Her face was like perfect. She's like, what did I just do?
Wow.
Like, I don't think she realized what happened.
That'll be up on YouTube later.
Candid camera will come.
I hit the pocket and left the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That looks like when I hit the pocket.
Wow.
That was crazy. I hope that didn't do anything to the lane to damage it or anything.
Or the ball.
Yeah.
Because the pins are set on a set of spikes, and you've worked that machine before.
Yeah.
What's that device like?
It's really hard though. I'm surprised that the person only had to have their foot on it, so the person obviously just forgot to take their foot off the thing that just drops the pins down. So I guess someone just wasn't paying attention back there, and someone wasn't paying attention about telling her to bowl, because they're supposed to work together to try to tell the person. So it was just miscommunication, I'm sure.
Well, reset. We're back. First shot from Davies. Flat 10. What a initial impression of watching her throws. What a nice, smooth style and a great release.
Yeah, she throws it very smooth. What I see is interesting is she looks at the foul line, it looks like. She doesn't look up until after she's thrown it, which I actually do the same thing, so it's kind of cool to see someone else that does that. But it's interesting how low she holds the ball, too, for a girl, too.
No problem, cross lane at the 10, so a couple of spares. Haley Rubin versus Jessica Davies were underway. The 4th set of our best of 2 matches, Teen Masters Grand Championships, live from Grand Central Terminal. And we are glad you're with us around the world. We'll give you a rundown of the action coming up tonight. As we mentioned, that elimination match between Doyle and Young, virtual elimination match, will come up out of the break at 5 Eastern Time. And then Ashley Dunn, 1-0, will take on Jessica Davies. Jacob Ettinger will take on Aaron Uratovich a little bit later. And Haley Rubin, in her second match, will get Melanie Hannon at 8 o'clock. So that comes up high for Rubin. Haley is a graduating senior in the class of 2012, attended Brandon Valley High School. She'll be 19 coming up on November 21st. And didn't slide it far enough over. Open frame for Rubin as the 10 remains.
That's that tough spare we were talking about last game. Cameron said he'd rather shoot the 710 than the 3610, and that's why. There's a lot of ways to miss it.
With the lanes having as much friction as there is, your ball can easily just hook a little bit and chop anything.
Something happened with the approach, but the result is good. Strike for Davies. First strike of this match. Best of 2 games coming at you live from Grand Central Terminal here in Vanderbilt Hall. Put together this seating arena and the 1-lane installation and the lighting grid and all the banners and video screen. As you look at the scoreboard, very, very beautiful, fun, elaborate, exciting setting here. Elise, and you got to compete here last year.
Yeah, it's a really cool setting. I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When will you ever get the chance to come bowl in the middle of Vanderbilt Hall, you know? So win or lose, all these girls got a great girls and guys, they all got to do something that they can take for the rest of their life, you know. You can tell your kids, like later on, I was here one day and I bowled right there. You know, that's a cool thing to say.
It is indeed. As we mentioned in our open, Grand Central Terminal will celebrate its 100th anniversary next year. The largest train station in the world, and this Vanderbilt Hall used to be the main waiting room here at Grand Central.
Yeah, they said it used to be like a military base back in the 1940s. That's what the guy was telling me. So now it's just an empty hall where people wait for their trains.
Yeah, they do special events in here, and just like this one, this Teen Masters Grand Championships, and now a rough start for Haley Rubin. Spare, open, 35 open through 3. Jessica Davies is clean through 2. This is the first game, best of 2. 4 girls in the under 18 division competing, and each will face every other, so 3 matches for every competitor. 12 preliminary rounds for you live on Extra Frame. Bucket combo crumbles, just the 8 remains. As we take a look at the Grand Hall next door, that big central clock, as we look at the folks waiting for trains all over the East Coast. And iconic place. You can't walk by there without seeing flashbulbs popping and everyone taking their picture in there.
If only we can get a flash mob going right now. That would be fun.
Do some dancing. You got to show me a step, though.
Yeah.
Spare for Davies as we're right next to the Grand Hall here at Vanderbilt. And just literally steps outside 42nd Street. Those folks walking behind to the left. That window there is 42nd Street, Midtown Manhattan. To the right is that waiting room we just saw with the big gold clock. There's our scoreboard. Early lead here for Davies, game 1 of the best of 2 game match.
What's weird about Haley missing spares is she said that spares are her game because she left a lot of them. So she said she had to learn to pick them up. So I'm surprised that she's actually missed 2 already in this game.
Having trouble with timing as well, as Haley has had some balance issues at the foul line and pulling her shots high. Could be a case of nerves, could be a little moisture on the hand, could be any of a couple of factors working.
Yeah, like I said, not having a hand dryer here is it's tough because it's hot under those lights, and just being so close to the door where the humidity comes in and stuff, it's tough.
Oh.
Another miss.
So open for Rubin. Tough start, but it is best of 2, and we've had each of our matches today with a split decision leading to a sudden death roll-off. So Rubin has time to work here. It's not a one-game affair. Davies, meanwhile, clean through 3. Spare, strike, spare, working in the 4th frame. As we mentioned, a unique style, ball waist high, with no push away.
Kind of looks like Tony Westlake, Mike J. If you guys remember Tony Westlake from the 80s and the 90s, kind of had that low, held it low and stayed low the whole way.
Interesting to note, too, as we look at the full 15 feet of approach, a new addition this year is that wall at the back end, and a little bit different.
It makes it tough. I know last year I like to start back on the lane, and I was right up to it, and it was actually lower, and it was kind of annoying. So I can't imagine having it that much higher, right, probably touching your like butt almost. I'm sure that's another distraction that they have to deal with, especially the people who like to start up pretty far back on the approach.
Hey, I don't know if it's the wall or one of the spectators grabbing you, trying to grab you.
Well, it is New York City. Well, the crowds have been plentiful today, as a combination of bowling fans taking in the action and just regular everyday people, commuters and travelers making their way. 750,000 people a day make their way through Grand Central Terminal, over 21 million a year. And some of them taking in a frame or two of action, some of them sticking around and sitting, and other bowling fans joining us. As Jessica Davies maintains a big lead here in game one. She's clean. Trying to double here in the fifth. Now stubborn 7. It's very interesting. Every time we go to this shot, the crowd changes.
Yeah, it does.
Every 2 or 3 shots, people
stop. They try to see what's going on. A lot of people are like, "What? You bowling? Like, what is bowling in the middle of Vanderbilt Hall?" So people like want to know what's going on. They want to know about the event. See what's up.
It's a spare for Davies. She's clean through 5. Rubin has got bookend spares and 3 opens. Trying to find her way here at Grand Central. Different environment, high ceiling, moisture. Got a couple fans going over there, but not your traditional ball return type fan.
Yeah. I don't think they had those fans the first couple matches, though. I don't think they had it till after Greg and Jacob's match. Or during their match.
We've got human pin setters and human ball returns. The human element here. Midtown Manhattan. 6th frame, game 1. Tried it the other way, and Haley Rubin trying to find a swing down the middle.
I think she might have thought that was a good shot of her hand. I don't think she thought that was what the result was going to be.
They're bowling on the long pattern, correct?
It looks like it.
That's what it looks like to me too. That's why I guessed long.
Because they're playing inside.
Yeah, they are bowling on the long pattern.
Haley made that decision as the number 2 seed. And another open frame for Rubin. But as we've seen all day, the player can come back in game 2 to force the roll-off.
I feel like at this time she should probably just start fishing for something new.
And there's not a lot of fish in the pond. This tournament demands that you only have 2 strike balls.
Yep.
Either the Ebonite Pursuit or the Ebonite Cyclone.
You're going to do really well in this tournament if you're able to make good hand position moves, lane adjustments, stuff like that, because you can't rely on your balls, coming in this tournament, especially if you already know that they don't match up that great. You just got to know that you got to make good shots. You can't depend on, oh, I'm going to switch to this ball. You can't do that. So you got to work on physical adjustments.
It's very, very interesting in that tournament founder and manager Gary Beck has put into place a program where how do you have a program that allows a bowler to stand out from the rest? And it is the 2012 equipment package. You only have the choice of 2 strike balls. And you can bring a spare ball, but you can only use that ball for spares. So now Davies fanned it on the opening shot, picks up the spare, avoids the chop, and is clean.
Right now, Mike J, she's got such a big lead. I would, if I were her, I would just start fishing around for something else, because we've seen in every match, the player who wins the first game loses the second. So this is a great chance for her to get ready for game 2.
Looks like she's making a ball change.
So Haley Rubin, number 2 seed, chose this long pattern. Now gone to the equipment bag and search something that strikes a little
Definitely
closer.
looks a lot better.
Yeah, a little closer, a little better reaction.
And I was actually speaking about Jessica there, Mike J. Jessica's got this game locked up. We've seen both players in the previous 3 matches who won the first game give the second game away or lose the second game, and in some cases lose the match because the ball reactions flip-flopped and their opponents had a better look. And I think this is a good opportunity for Jessica to move around and try to figure something out a little. I mean, she's not exactly striking at will right now. I mean, she's stayed clean, but you know, she could really put this match away without having to go into roll-off if she can figure something out this game.
Well, let's think ahead, Elise. We're going to send you down there in a minute to grab a quick interview before game 2. Is the story Jessica and whether she can continue, or is the story on Haley and whether she can find something in game 2?
I'd say Haley because, like I'd said, she said that spares were her game, and I'd like to really know like what's going on right now and what's affecting her, why she's not making her spares.
Well, we'll have that for you in between game 1 and 2. In fact, let's send you down there now and prepare yourself for that. We're going to send our sideline reporter down there, Elise Bolton, and she will gather the answer to that question. 118 through 6, attempting the spare here in the 7th frame. And Davies is clean through 7 and currently leads by 46. Best of 2 game match, so all is not lost for Rubin. We've seen each player in our opening 3 matches find a way to win game 2 after losing game 1 to force the roll-off. As we mentioned, there are 12 preliminary matches. Each of the 4 boys and 4 girls will each have 3 matches. The top 2 records will move on to our finals tomorrow. We'll have a boys final and a girls final, and then our grand championship for the $64,000 scholarship tomorrow live on Extra Frame. So Rubin comes back 4-7 and then fits one and finally strikes here in the 8th frame.
Uh-oh, Mike J. That's all I have to say.
Hey, Cameron Doyle decided to stop by. What was for lunch?
Cheeseburger and some fries and some mashed potatoes.
All right, good combo. And it doesn't shake the 7, and Jessica Davies has a lead here, Cameron, and Haley Rubin is improving. She had a high hit and then a strike.
It looks like it's setting up for what's happened in the first 4 matches that we've had so far, where the loser of the first game comes back the second game.
Yep.
And now we have a missed spare, and with a strike up, Haley Rubin is right back in game 1.
I heard someone's ball hit the pins.
Yeah, they didn't. They forgot to put the lever down on the spikes that hold the pins.
Wow.
On spot, and she hit the pocket and she took out the 1-3.
Tough break.
Did it mess the ball up at all?
We were wondering that, and I guess that might be something Elise could find out for us.
So that was like throwing a ball at a concrete wall.
Pretty much. So
the scoreboard tells a story. Haley Rubin can still shoot 180 with Davies pacing at 184, 9th frame. So Rubin searching. Needs to find it quickly.
Are you guys going to take a break after this match?
We were, but not anymore.
All right.
We're going to go straight through, Cameron. Breaks are for wussies.
Oh, now another open. So Rubin open through 9 and a rough first game.
So Davies is going to win the first one?
Yes. That
may not be a good thing.
It hasn't been so far.
See, I was thinking win first game and be like, more comfortable and stuff? Nope.
I mean, that was kind of Zach Astori's strategy last year, was play to win the second game no matter what. And it worked out for him. He might have lost a few game ones, but he didn't lose any game twos, and he ended up winning the tournament. But that also makes it play into your hands that you may take your chances on a roll-off, which could go either way.
Yeah.
So with that, Davies already has enough, has won game one, and now all the rest of her shots this game can be used to plot strategy for game two.
Yeah, I think Haley just needs to slow down, realize that, hey, you know, the match isn't over yet. I've still got one more chance to win a game and send it to a roll-off, and figure something out that keeps you around the pocket, and make sure you don't take those spares for granted. She's missed a few makeable spares this match. Some of them were tough. She chopped a 610. She chopped a 3-6-10, which is your favorite spare, Cameron. But she's just got to hold it together and realize that she's still got another game to figure out how to win.
I talked to Greg after the match. He said that cough was the main reason he double dribbled that. He's like, he was so far into his approach, he didn't want to stop. So he just kept going. And
yeah, there was no way. He was already on the downswing.
Yeah.
Only maybe Wes Malott would be able to stop at that point. He's the only one strong enough.
Or Rash.
Rash might be able to.
I've never seen Belma balk.
Yeah, I've never seen him balk
Not
in the
after
middle
his
of his
second
approach.
step.
Right.
Yeah, like maybe
right.
first or second step.
Right. I think it might help to have your thumb in the ball when you're balking late.
Yeah.
So 127 for Rubin.
Well, she's just got to be thankful that it's not a two-game total pin match, and kind of look at that as the silver lining.
Hopefully I can just get through today and one match tomorrow. Then the finals are best of 3, and I think I have a way better chance at that.
Now,
With
who
no
do you
roll.
bowl in match 3?
Jacob Ettinger.
Okay.
So Jessica Davies finishing up. You're watching live coverage of the Team Masters Grand Championships. We're in the preliminary round of competition. 4 boys and 4 girls are competing for a $64,000 scholarship. Each of the 4 bowlers will bowl each of the other 3 competitors for 3 matches, and the top 2 records will advance to our championship on the boys and girls side tomorrow. Once we've declared a boys and girls champion, we'll have an overall grand championship match for the $64,000 scholarship. 171 is the final for Jessica Davies. And our sideline reporter, Elise Bolton from Team USA, joins us today, and she's getting in position. And we'll have an interview for you shortly. Game 2 coming up next. We'll have a very short break. And then our matchup of the evening, as Cameron Doyle sitting in with us, will face Greg Young. And we now move laneside to our new extra frame friend and colleague, Elise Bolton. Go, Elise.
All right, I'm here with Haley. Haley, yesterday you told us that spares were your game, and we were just trying to figure out what happened.
You know, I couldn't really tell you. You know, hopefully I can get something rolling here. I'm still confident. You know, I can still come back and shoot something big, get back in there. I just, you know, I think it was just a little bit off right now, but get back on, hopefully.
All right, what adjustments are you going to make this game to hopefully come back and tie the match up?
I just need to not be so nervous, I think. Just take a little bit of extra time, really focus on, you know, just everything that I normally do, and hopefully that'll get me back in it.
All right, into game 2.
Game 2 it is. Haley Rubin trails 0-1. And Jessica Davies has the hammer in hand. Will we see our first leader close the deal as we await for our evening slate of action? Cameron Doyle, as we mentioned, the #1 overall seed here, will take on Greg Young at 5 Eastern. Ashley Dunn, who has a 1-0 record, will take on Jessica Davies at 6. Jacob Edinger and Aaron Uratovich at 7. And then Haley Rubin, that we just saw, will take on Melanie Hannon at 8. And we'll have 8 games and 8 matches completed this evening. And now here we go. Mike J. Laneside with Cameron Doyle, and the bowling guy is Jason Thomas. And Jessica Davies is up a game, and she leads off here in game 2. Good arm swing, good follow through, good result for Davies. Up a game, and now a strike in game 2 to start things off. And as we heard from Elise Bolton, Haley is still confident, and we'll see what she's got for us here in game 2. Cameron, how many shots did it take before you felt comfortable in this environment?
Probably after the gutter. So 1 frame. Then I threw the strike in the second, then I was fine. Yeah, I was like, right before I threw my shot, I was like, hope I don't gutter to start. And of
Never a
course
good thought.
No.
So Rubin crosses over.
And I was also thinking, hope I don't gutter in the roll-off or I'm done. I have those weird
Did
thoughts.
it make you tug it a little bit?
No, I actually forgot about it
Yeah.
and just went up there and did my thing.
Coming up tomorrow, we'll have the last 4 of the 12 preliminary round matches, after which boys and girls championships, and now Rubin opens in game 2.
Seems like no one can make that.
Yeah, that was pretty good effort. She hit the right side of the 3-pin, but just centered it a little too much, and it didn't deflect into the 10.
Yeah, I actually made it the second game because I was too mad. I didn't even care. I just went up there and chucked it as hard as I could, and I made it. So I guess that's what I'm going to do now.
Just chuck it as hard as you can.
It's a bucket for Davies, opened with a strike. As we're coming at you live, you have not misread your screen. We are at Grand Central Terminal in New York, New York, in Vanderbilt Hall, one of the coolest bowling venues ever. And the Team Masters Grand Championships. Jessica Davies up a game here in this best of 2 match against Haley Rubin. Trying to clean up the bucket here in the second frame. Very, very, very nice spare.
Spare him to death, Mike J. That's one way to do it. Make your opponent come out and throw strikes.
Ah, yes.
And it's a good strategy. You're not going to find 5 boards of area out there on these conditions. So if you've got close to the pocket and your opponent's struggling, just keep it there and make your spares. Make them strike to come and get you.
Hey, and the crowd gets behind Haley Rubin. She just drilled the pocket. That's got to feel good. Little happy noise among those gathered here. A couple of spirited high fives. Davies up in the third, up a game, strike spare here, working in the third. 11-pin lead here in game 3. Comes up a bit light. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank tournament founder, tournament director Gary Beck, for inviting Extra Frame along. This is the second time that we've been able to cover this event live, and the PBA teaming up with Gary Beck and providing opportunities for youth to bowl in the World Series of Bowling. And Cameron, you've taken advantage of opportunities with the PBA, youngest ever to cash in a regional, and then your amazing performance at the U.S. Open last year.
Yeah, it was a fun time. like I said at the U.S. Open, I've been wanting to bowl the U.S. Open for 3 or 4 years since I was 9, 10 years old. Just didn't think I was ready. And I was like, Dad, you have to take me this year. So we did, and I ended up making the first cut. I wanted to make the second cut. I was a little upset, so I can't wait till next year to come out there. And the experience helped me out this year a lot.
Well, the partnership with Gary and the PBA, and I think it's really exciting. I mean, you're somebody we may see mixing it up very shortly, and you already have with some of the great PBA Tour stars.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna bowl the Masters this year. Try to bowl more and more stuff every year, just to get ready for when hopefully there is a PBA Tour when I'm old enough.
And for folks that aren't familiar with you or your story, you've got a practice facility that's pretty close to home, don't you?
Just a couple feet. So whenever I want to go bowl, just take 20 steps, 10 steps downstairs, and turn the lanes on and go bowl.
Yeah, but you got to oil the lanes first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a chore.
Hey, you got to really have respect for a young man that does his own lane maintenance. I mean, it's one thing to go and clean up your room, but it's another thing to keep your lane surface spotless.
I'd much rather do that.
Yeah, I just had to mow the lawn when I was.
So Haley Rubin picks up the spare. She trails by 9 pins. Jessica Davies has a game up, and she's looking to be the first out of 4 to win 2 games and avoid the sudden death roll-off. These are best of 2 matches in our preliminary round. Davies up on the 4th frame. She's clean, strike, spare, spare. Comes up light, and I think her command of the pocket is going away.
Well, she's clean, but she's flirting with really tough spares, Mike J. She's got, you know, you can't keep making buckets and 3/6-10s. I guess you could, but your odds aren't very good.
Not with the 3/6-10. I don't know. It's looking like the rest of the matches. The leader, well, the winner of the first game's starting to slowly fall.
It's a spare for Davies. Mike J. Laneside with Jason Thomas. We're joined by Cameron Doyle, who'll be bowling next against Greg Young. And where was the inspiration to follow the sport on the PBA level and then also to be as competitive as you are?
Well, when I first made the cut in the regional, when I was 12, I was like, okay, I can kind of compete out here. So I practiced for like a year. Well, I also made the top 16 at junior gold. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting better. So I took a year to practice really hard. I went out to the U.S. Open and made the cut there. So I'm thinking I'm getting close to where I can compete with everyone.
Rubin strikes, and now Haley Rubin has got 2 solid strikes here in game number 2. Could she start putting them together, though? She trails now by just 6 pins, and when she steps up in the 5th frame, she'll have an opportunity to strike for her first lead today. Davies 55 through 3 spare up now, working in the 5th. Game up, best of 2 matches. If the players split, there'll be a roll-off to determine the match winner who gets a point. And once again, the bucket for Davies. So with the spare conversion, she'll lead by just 2 pins, and Rubin will have a chance to get back into this match. Notice that spare ball. That looks like a Jason Belmonte spare ball, doesn't it?
That is a Belmo spare ball.
So as we talk about, open frame now for Davies, and the door is now open for Haley Rubin.
Yeah, there it is, Mike J. You just can't roll the dice and expect to come away with 10 a frame, shooting the bucket every time.
So what are the conversations? Interesting to see that Jessica has a Belmo spare ball. One of the interesting stories of the year was Belmo versus Sean Rash. Where would your player of the year vote have gone?
I would have gone with Belmo. Well, actually, I don't know. Fagan did pretty good in the majors, not as well in the smaller events. But Rash won the TOC. think that was the deciding factor. He made every show, got first or second or third, whatever, in the World Series every time. And I don't know, I think this was the toughest year they ever had. Fagan, I think it was between Rash and Belmo. Fagan did amazing, but just not enough for Rash, obviously. I would have voted for Belmo.
The funniest part, I think, not funny, but just most interesting is if you had to vote and then in the next breath say, which player do you think is going to win Player of the Year next year? I think everybody votes for somebody other than Fagan, and then they pick Fagan to be Player of the Year this year.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was clearly the best after January 1st.
So you want me to pick who will be Player of the Year next year?
Yeah, who do you think?
I don't think it'll be no, I don't think anyone will go back-to-back, so not Rash. Belmo's, is going to be up there. I'd like to see Norm or Pete. Pete's one of my favorite bowlers of all time, and we're kind of similar in style, so I like to root him on.
Jessica Davies now working in the 6th frame. This is the first time she's trailed all day. Haley Rubin now leads by 9 pins in game 2. Much better shot, and a 10-pin for Davies. We're at Grand Central Terminal in New York, New York, 42nd and Park Ave. And we have a special 1-lane assembly, and they're bowling on the long pattern here. They have a choice between a short and a long, determined by the overall top seed of the match. Good spare there for Davies.
She's definitely a solid spare shooter, Mike J. She just treats it just like she doesn't take it for granted like a lot of players do, and she goes up, throws it on balance, gets it right at the pin. Even the one she missed was a pretty good attempt. She just chopped the bucket.
Haley Rubin lost game 1, 171 to 127, but she's starting to get the crowd behind her, and she's starting to react with some good shots.
Up 29 if she strikes.
Let's look at the scoreboard.
And a 9 count. A lot easier to shoot a 3-pin than a bucket. Trying to stay alive. Rubin needs this game to force a sudden death roll-off. This is best of 2 preliminary competition. If each player would earn 1 game, there's a sudden death roll-off for the match. 1 point earned.
You know, the problem when you're lost, Mike J, is that you get lost, and then the lanes start to change. So you're still trying to find where you want to play. But meanwhile, the lanes are changing, and you're really responding to outdated information or bad information. And I think at this point, they're starting to hook more where she wants to play.
So that's kind of like Elise Bolton this morning, given the wrong directions to get here to Grand Terminal.
Exactly.
You take the wrong turn, you think you're going the right way, and then somehow you got to find your way back to where you were in the first place.
Right, exactly.
And now do it with a bowling ball.
And
in the
then,
middle of Vanderbilt Hall.
Yeah, and the thing you do is you say, what's wrong with me? Why am I going in the wrong direction? I need to go in the right direction. But really, you might just need to change directions.
Oh, high flush that time for Davies, and a strike now in the 7th frame.
So, you know, she definitely, Haley, I'm talking about, she definitely looks more comfortable now. She's throwing the ball more aggressively, but I think what happened to her the first game might have confused her a little bit about how the lanes were playing. So she needs to really think about that right now, and if she has a coach and she's able to talk to that person needs to tell her, hey, you're throwing it good now, you just need to make the right move on the lane.
And I think the other factor that Elise Bolton uncovered earlier is that Haley's taking a little bit more time now also between shots in her preparation.
Oh, I thought Haley was going to be up 28. My bad, it was 8.
So Haley's up 8, working on the spare now. And we're working in the 7th frame. Game 2, best of 2. Drills it. So Rubin drills it, and this crowd is getting behind Haley Rubin. But
she's
now,
pumped.
here comes Jessica Davies, and a key shot of the match here, Cameron. A double can steal the lead right back.
Oh, yeah. So if she strikes here, she'll be up 2.
So key shot, 8th frame. Davies up a game, can take the lead with a strike here in the 8th.
Looks high.
And high flush.
Yep.
It's a double for Davies, and the lead is Jessica's. Rubin with a strike up can steal it right back. Game on here at Grand Central. Teen Masters Grand Championships preliminary round competition. After 12 matches, we'll have 2 finalists in both the boys and girls divisions. We'll crown individual boys and girls champions tomorrow, and then we'll have a Grand Championships tilt, boy versus girl, $64,000 college scholarship on the line. To take the lead back now, Rubin up, 8th frame on a strike. That one gets away and no break, 9-pin.
Yeah, she just seems to have a tendency when she really wants a strike to grab it a little bit and get the ball going left to target.
That's kind of what I do sometimes. Like on that 5 count in the 10th frame, 10th frame or 9th frame, I had to have the strike to like lock him out. Got up there and tugged it, and that's what happened.
Very common miss for professional caliber players. You want to throw the high hard one, and a lot of times when you do that, you're bowling on conditions that aren't as demanding as these are, and you'll actually miss light.
Yeah.
Because you'll catch more oil and the ball won't make it around the corner, and you don't catch it as hard as you normally would.
Folks are starting to crowd in here to Vanderbilt Hall. We've got bowling fans, we've got the commuters, we've got the verge of rush hour, and we've got Jessica Davies on the verge of earning a point here. Can put herself in solid position to go 2-0, double up, 9th frame.
Wow, good shot. Just doesn't get the break on the 7-pin.
Wow, so it's going to be a 1-pin match.
With a spare, Davies would lead by a single stick. Already up a game, looking to sweep the best of 2 and earn an opening point. Spare out of the way.
We've already seen one 9th and 10th frame roll off for a tie game, Mike J. Could we see another one in the second girls match of the day?
Yeah, very interesting to note that if it's a game tie, it's a 9th and 10th frame roll off, and if it's a match tie, then it's a sudden death roll off. We had both earlier.
And boy, I mean, how heartbreaking a loss would it be if Jessica Davies weren't able to close this out? I mean, she's really dominated the whole match, but Haley Rubin is still alive. And if she can find a way to strike here in the 9th and 10th, and then in the roll-off again, she can steal a point.
So Rubin trails by 1. She's got a spare working, 9th frame. Good shot, flat 10. Didn't get all of it, but put it where it needed to be.
Yeah, that pesky dead 10.
How tough are cross lane conversions here, Cameron?
Would you say what again?
How tough are the cross lane conversions here?
Oh, it's hard though. Only way you could probably make some of them are getting lucky and popping them out of the back, but other than that, you got to be dead on.
Hey, I'm going to give you the opportunity to bail. I don't know what kind of break we're going to have in the middle. You got a big match coming up.
Yeah, I'm about to go get ready.
Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, man.
All right.
That's Cameron Doyle, competitor here. He's got a big match coming up live with Greg Young. And wanted to give him the opportunity to prepare himself as we get toward the end of this matchup with Rubin and Davies. Davies will finish. And she can shut Haley Rubin out.
Wow. Really close.
So the best Davies can shoot is 188 with a spare and a fill. Rubin can still shoot 197. So Rubin will need two
Double
strikes.
and two, yeah.
Rubin will need 2 strikes for a shot at sudden death. First things first, and Davies picks up the spare.
One of the only times where sudden death is a good thing, Mike J.
Yes.
Now, count is important here. She needs to get more than 8 to force her to force Haley Rubin to double.
Wow. And a 6 count. Final score 1-8-4 for Jessica Davies. And that means
9 spare 9, Mike J.
no double is necessary for Rubin.
It's a lot
Rubin is
easier.
still alive.
A lot easier task, 9 spare 9, than it is to get a double.
Even 8 spare 9 would get the job done.
Especially on this. I mean, there's only been 1 or 2 doubles this whole match.
So the count ball makes it monumentally easier for Rubin to stay alive. 10th frame. And comes up high, avoids the split, and the 8 count.
Wow, could we have another
9? We'd have another tie for
Exactly.
game 2.
Exactly.
Which would necessitate a roll-off of the 9th and 10th frame for game 2 before you'd even think about a roll-off. Spare and a strike, Rubin wins, and there would be sudden death roll-off for the match. Many, many possibilities. First, we got to have the slash. And clips the 10 out.
Yeah, she chopped it earlier in the match, but that time
just enough.
Covers both pins with the ball.
So the situation is this. A strike, Haley Rubin evens the match. We have sudden death roll-off. 9 count, there would be a 9th and 10th frame roll-off for game 2. 8 count, Jessica Davies earns a point.
Wow.
Buried it, pocket, perfect hit. Haley Rubin evened up the match. We go to sudden death.
You can't throw it any better than that, Mike J.
When she absolutely had to have it, she delivered, and we go to sudden death.
Very, very impressive. And now all the pressure's on Jessica Davies.
You bet.
I mean, you dominate.
The higher seed is Haley Rubin, who will decide the roll-off. We'll go to the tournament director, Gary Beck, down laneside.
With that 1-pin victory, Haley Rubin has tied the match 1-1. We now move to sudden death roll-off. 1-ball matches until the tie is broken. Miss Rubin, as the higher seed, you have the choice of leading, and you are going to throw first. They will take turns throwing 1 ball. If they tie, they bowl again until the tie is broken. Good luck. Let's give them a round of applause.
Interesting decision, Mike J, that she chose to go right after throwing that strike. She was very pumped up. A lot of times when you get that pumped up, you've got to calm yourself back down in order to make a good quality shot. And let's see if it affects her here. You can see her breathing deeply there. She's still got the adrenaline going from that last strike. And now she needs to calm herself down, make a good shot, and put the pressure on Jessica Davies.
Out of nowhere, 4 for 4, we've got sudden death roll-off, and Haley drilled it when she needed it. Now she opens the roll-off. Top ball will earn the point in the match. Another good shot from Rubin, flat 10. So now ball back in the hands of Jessica Davies, and it's as simple as this. 9 extends the roll-off. strike, and Davies earns the point. Anything less, and Haley Rubin will claim victory.
Talk about a mugging in Grand Central, Mike J. Stealing a point.
Or will Davies prevail? 9 to tie, 10 to claim it. No, we have 8. Haley Rubin has snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. Haley Rubin has earned a point. Improbable comeback for Rubin. Wow. The crowd got behind Haley. When the chips were down, she delivered quality shots. In the roll-off, she put it where it needed to be. And Davies did not respond. So Haley Rubin has earned the point, and we are 4 for 4, Jason, with 4 roll-offs. And our morning block of competition has completed here at Grand Central. Wow. And now we're ready to talk with Haley, and Elise Bolton has her. Go, Elise.
Match is spares, and I know that you said spares is your game, but you were able to take your time and come back and win. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling really great. You know, I don't want to think about it too much. You know, I still got a really big match tonight, and hopefully I can come out and bowl like I did my second game on the first game. So hopefully no more little mistakes and just stay in it.
So what are you going to do to prepare for your match coming up in a little bit?
Probably go get something to eat. You know, I'm a little thirsty, a little hungry, and not think about it too much. You know, I don't want to be too nervous.
All right, good luck. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Elise. And that is Haley Rubin, bowling guy. That was quite the comeback.
Yeah, it was a great comeback. I mean, Jessica Davies didn't do a lot of things wrong there. She chopped a spare. She got a couple of short counts. And that's all it takes in this format to give the match away. So Haley Rubin really steals one there, and she's 1-0, and she'll just need to win one more match to make it into the final tomorrow.
Well, we've got a short break, and then our evening block